In the heart of 19th century Boston, a sinister tale unfolded. Sarah Jane Robinson, a seemingly ordinary woman, wielded a poisoner's deadly touch. Born into a world of cobblestone streets and horse-drawn carriages, Robinson was a matriarch in every sense, caring for a large family in the bustling city. Yet, beneath the surface, a darker narrative was taking shape. Robinson's home, once filled with the laughter of children and the hustle of daily life, was slowly transformed into a house of horrors. One by one, her family members began to fall ill, their lives extinguished under mysterious circumstances. Neighbors whispered about the tragic luck that seemed to follow the Robinson clan, yet no one suspected the truth. Their beloved matriarch was not a protector, but a predator. As the bodies piled up, the grim pattern began to emerge, painting a chilling portrait of a family under siege. This was not mere misfortune, this was something far more sinister. Sarah Jane Robinson's weapon of choice was as silent as it was lethal: poison. Her method was methodical, calculated, almost clinical in its execution. She slipped poison into her victims' meals, their drinks, their daily lives, until death seemed a natural, albeit sudden, occurrence. This subtlety allowed her to operate under the radar for years. Her victims' symptoms mimicked those of common illnesses, and their deaths were chalked up to unfortunate circumstances. After all, who would suspect a mother, a wife, a caretaker of such heinous acts? Her knowledge of poison and its effects was chillingly precise, enabling her to administer just enough to kill without raising suspicions. And so, she continued her deadly spree, each death bringing her another step closer to her financial goals. In the shadow of her deadly secret, Robinson's household was a ticking time bomb. But even the most carefully spun webs can unravel. The authorities began to notice the pattern of deaths in Robinson's family. Indeed, the trail of tragedies, once dismissed as mere misfortune, began to form a chilling pattern. One by one, family members fell, succumbing to sudden and inexplicable illnesses. Yet with each death, a life insurance policy was claimed, and the benefactor was, invariably, Sarah Jane Robinson. The authorities, once oblivious, now turned their gaze onto this grieving widow. The pattern of deaths was too consistent, the financial gain too conspicuous. Was it possible that the sorrow-stricken mother was a methodical murderer? Their investigation delved into each case, unearthing unsettling evidence that pointed to a chilling conclusion. Robinson's poison of choice, arsenic, was found in the remains of her victims, painting a grim portrait of a family matriarch turned predator. This revelation was the final piece of the puzzle, leading to her inevitable arrest. Like a house of cards, Sarah Jane Robinson's deadly scheme came crashing down. Convicted of multiple murders, Sarah Jane Robinson's reign of terror came to an end. The trial was a landmark case, making headlines across the nation. The evidence stacked against her was overwhelming, from the pattern of deaths within her family to the suspicious insurance claims that followed each one. The court was relentless in its pursuit of justice. As the prosecution meticulously laid out the facts, the chilling reality of Robinson's actions was brought to light. Her methodical use of poison, her cold calculation, and her blatant disregard for the lives of her own kin were all laid bare. The verdict was unanimous. Guilty. Guilty of multiple counts of murder. The sentence? Life in prison. A fitting end for a woman whose actions had caused so much pain and suffering. Robinson would spend the remainder of her days confined within the cold stone walls of a prison cell. Behind bars, the poisoner's hand was finally stayed. Sarah Jane Robinson's tale left a chilling legacy in its wake. Her insidious deeds cast a long, dark shadow on the then nascent insurance industry, exposing glaring vulnerabilities. It was a grim wake-up call, prompting a re-evaluation of policies and procedures to prevent such macabre exploitation. Beyond the financial implications, Robinson's case was a landmark in the field of criminal psychology. Her methodical, cold-blooded approach to murder forced a reconsideration of the stereotypical image of female criminals. It was a stark reminder that poisoners, Even those who are mothers can be as ruthless and calculating as any other criminals. Her case became a reference point in profiling potential female poisoners, leading to a deeper understanding of this unique breed of criminals. Her story is a grim reminder of the darkness that can lurk behind the most ordinary of facades. Even today, decades later, Sarah Jane Robinson's story continues to haunt the annals of true crime.